Have you ever felt it? That quiet space between you and another. A vast field of silence where a connection should be. It is a common suffering. We see men who possess the world's treasures, yet their hearts remain islands, unable to build a bridge to another shore. The answer is not found in what you have, or what you look like, or the force of your will. The masters of old teach that most men are blind to the subtle currents, the small gestures that carry the weight of a mountain. Today, I will not give you 7 secrets. I will show you 7 paths. These are not tricks for the mind. They are practices for the soul, rooted in ancient wisdom. They can change the very energy you carry into a room, making you a presence that is felt long after you have gone, without any effort at all. Imagine this. What if you could feel the unspoken language of the heart? What if you could stand apart, not by striving, but by being still? Not by chasing, but by understanding the deep human need to be seen, to be felt, to be safe in another's presence. If you do not know these paths, you are walking in the dark. You may be missing the very thing that allows a heart to open, the thing that makes her think of you when the world is quiet. This is why I invite you to walk this path with me to the end. The final path is the anchor for all others. Once you understand it, your view of connection will be transformed. Before we begin, a simple gesture. If you are ready to begin this inner work, quiet your mind, take a breath, and we will begin this journey together. First, there is the path of still water. Before the river joins the sea, imagine you are with her. The words flow like leaves on a stream. There is laughter, and yet you feel a distance. The connection is thin like a spider's thread. You part ways, send a message into the void, and hear only the echo of your own words. What was missing? Most men believe connection is built with words, with stories, with the mind. But for the heart to open, it must feel more than words. It needs to feel safety. It needs to feel presence. And there is a forgotten way to offer this touch that asks for nothing in return. A simple, gentle message before any thought of intimacy. This may sound simple, but its power is deep. For a woman's heart, the feeling of safety is the soil in which all else grows. A quiet, non-seeking touch speaks a language older than words. It says, I see you. I am here with you. I offer this space for you to be at rest. It is not the work of a therapist. It is the work of a human being, present and whole. The purpose is not to impress, but to be in the moment, to make her feel the ground beneath her feet, to feel seen not just as a body, but as a soul. The secret is this: it is not the touch, it is the stillness within you as you touch. If your mind is racing, if you are performing a task, it will feel empty. But if you are present, if you are breathing with her, if you are simply offering a moment of peace, she will feel it in her bones. An ancient wisdom says, do not argue about what a good man is. Be one. Do not think. Be present. Let your stillness speak. This is the truth. Most men are too restless to understand this. They live on the surface, seeking quick results. But the man who learns to be still water, he creates a depth, a quiet pool where another can be reflected. And that is a peace she will never forget. In a world of noise, offer silence. When you master this, you become the 1% who understands the deep currents of the heart. Second, the dance of the playful wind. Most men misunderstand this energy. They either push with the force of a gale, appearing desperate and heavy, or they hold back, a stagnant air, afraid to move. The truth is, the feminine spirit loves to dance, but only with a wind that is confident, light, and respects her movement. A man who knows this dance stands out, for he creates an energy that is alive, but not demanding. This dance is not about clever words or loud praise. It is about keeping a current of playfulness flowing between you. Think of it as a river. You guide its direction with a gentle touch. She follows, but the water itself feels free. The best way is through light-hearted teasing. For instance, if she speaks of a food she loves, you might reply with a quiet smile, truly, your world is so small. One day, I will show you what a mountain tastes like. It is a gentle challenge, a playful current that keeps the energy moving. More than this, This dance is not for her applause. The moment you seek approval, the wind dies. The feminine heart is drawn to the man who is a mountain in himself, who can be playful without needing a reward. This is a deep practice. A man of true substance does not dance to win another. He dances because he enjoys the movement, the flow, the life in the moment. He remains anchored, never swept away by the need for a certain outcome. Beyond words, your stillness and your gaze are the music. A confident eye, a slow smile, a pause that holds the world for a second. These speak a language of mountains and sky. Connection is not built by words. It is built by presence, by energy, by the quiet confidence of the earth. When you approach this dance with this spirit, she feels it immediately. So I ask you, are you dancing to impress, or are you dancing because you are the dance? Master this, and you will see the currents of life flow in your favor. Third, the path of the gentle stream. Most men are blind to this. But a woman's heart remembers when a man knows how to touch her hair at the right moment. It is a small gesture, like a single drop of rain in a quiet pond, that creates ripples of connection. But if the timing is wrong, it can feel like a stone thrown, awkward and intrusive. The key is to understand the source of its power. The body holds memories. The scalp is a sensitive landscape, full of nerve endings that speak directly to the heart. A gentle, intentional touch on her hair can send a quiet message of intimacy, of trust, of deep seeing. It is not about the physical feeling alone. It is about the unspoken word. It can say, I see you. I am present with you. I feel your energy. But this is where the path is lost. Most men rush. They act from a mechanical mind, with no real stillness behind the gesture. Touching her hair is not a nervous habit. It is the creation of a sacred moment. Imagine this. You are sitting with her, the space between you is calm, and in a moment of shared quiet, you gently move a single strand of hair from her face. That one movement, done with intention and from a place of stillness, can say more than 1,000 words. Timing is the river. This is not a gesture for a first meeting, before the ground of trust has been prepared. It is for when she feels safe with you, when a warmth has filled the air between you. If she leans into your space, if her smile is an open door, then you know the moment has arrived. The greatest error is to force the river to flow. This is why presence and awareness are your only guides. A wise teaching says we must learn to read the seasons of the heart without acting on impulse, to remain the master of our inner world, not a slave to desire. This means you do not reach out because you want to, but because the moment calls for it, because it is the right and natural thing to create connection. So the next time you are with her, and the moment feels like a quiet temple, do not underestimate the power of this gentle stream. When offered with stillness and intention, it is one of those rare, subtle gestures that leaves a mark on the soul. Fourth, the unseen riverbank. This may appear as a small thing, a fleeting gesture, but in its essence, it speaks of mountains. A simple, confident hand on the small of a woman's back, as you guide her through a crowd or walk beside her, communicates something the soul understands: leadership, stillness, and protection. And yet, almost all men either miss this moment or hesitate, lost in the mind, unsure of the path. A woman does not need a loud display of strength to feel safe. She needs the subtle, quiet signs that a man is grounded, present, and can guide the way. When you place your hand on her back, in a calm, centered way, you are sending a message without words. You are saying that you are aware of yourself and the space around you. You are leading with a quiet heart. This is not about power or control. It is about showing her, through your being, that you are there, you are aware, and you are a steady riverbank she can walk beside. But this is where many stumble. They hesitate, and the moment becomes a thought, and the thought is awkward. Or they are too forceful, and the touch feels like a cage, not a guide. It is not possessiveness. It is not a request for validation. It is presence. When done from a place of stillness, the touch is light but clear, brief but intentional, just enough for her to feel your center. A touch that feels effortless and natural. Imagine, you are walking side by side, moving toward a doorway. As you step forward to open it for her, your hand rests for a moment on her lower back, a quiet guide forward without breaking the flow. It is a moment of silent leadership, a gesture that reassures her spirit that she is with a man who moves with stillness and purpose. An ancient teaching tells us to waste no time arguing about what a good man should be, but to be one. A man of presence does not seek a reaction for his actions. He simply is strength, awareness, and quiet guidance. And that presence alone is magnetic. In a world where many men are either too timid or too loud, mastering this simple, powerful gesture sets you apart as one who understands the subtle dance of strength and care. Fifth, the way of the mountain. Let us quiet the noise and speak of something every man feels, but rarely names: the deep calling to protect, to lead, to be a presence she can lean into when the world spins. Not because she is weak, not because you seek to control her, but because it is written in the stone of your masculine core. To shield, not to smother. To stand still, not to chase. And here is what most men miss: her soul craves this. Not a god, not a ruler, but a man who carries a presence that says, without a single word, "You are safe in this space with me." And here is the paradox. You do not earn this role with muscle or coin. You earn it with spiritual strength. You see, most men think being her hero means fixing her, solving her problems, telling her what to do, mending her bad day like a broken cup. But that is not what her spirit asks for. What she truly needs is a man who can stand still while she is a storm. A man who does not flinch when her emotions rise like a river. A man who does not try to stop the rain, or explain it away, or make it about himself. She wants to know that you can hold her chaos without losing your own stillness. Because when a woman is overwhelmed, in her mind, in her heart, in her body, she is not looking for a fixer. She is looking for a mountain. Someone who will not be moved by the storm. Someone who does not run. Someone who does not react. Someone who stays, but stays grounded. That is what makes you her protector. It is not loud. It is not dramatic. It is steady, quiet, unshakable. And the more she feels that from you, the more she can relax into her own feminine flow, because now she is not carrying the weight of the world alone. She can let go, because she knows you have her, even when she is not easy. Now, let us be clear. Being her protector means letting her feel without rushing to fix. It means listening with your whole being, not just your ears. It means keeping your center when she tests the edges, not to punish, but to show her that her storm cannot break your foundation. It means stepping forward in moments of stress without a flood of words. Your calm becomes the signal. And here is the key. You become her protector before she needs one. You do not just react to drama. You create a space where it cannot grow with your energy. You set the spiritual tone. You walk with purpose. You speak with intention. And you do not need to say, "I have you," because the way you exist in the world already says it. But let me be clear. This is not being her emotional dumping ground. A protector does not tolerate disrespect or manipulation. It means you protect your own peace first, because a man who cannot protect his own inner state can never truly protect hers. An old wisdom says, no man was ever wise by chance. You do not stumble into this role. You choose it. You build it. You become it. Not to impress her, not to prove a point, but because it is who you are, who you must be. To lead, not chase. To protect, not prove. And here is the beautiful truth. When you fully step into that energy, she begins to see you differently. She softens. She opens. She trusts, not because you saved her, but because you showed her she never had to save you. So if you are ready to lead with a grounded spirit, write this in your heart. I protect with presence, because the man she craves, the one her deepest self respects, is not the loudest. He is the one who does not move when it matters. The one who listens without fixing, who holds space without fear, and who leads without losing himself. That is the man she trusts. That is the man she gives her heart to. That is the protector, not of her body, but of her peace in your presence. Sixth, the mark of the uncarved wood. Let us speak of something that appears physical, but touches a much deeper root, the beard. To some, it is merely hair, to others a style, but to her, if you carry it with the right spirit, it can awaken a feeling that is almost primal. Now, I am not saying all women love beards. The heart has its own preferences, but regardless of taste, there is a reason the beard has always been a symbol of something essential, something masculine, something quietly powerful, and a woman's spirit feels this, even if her mind cannot name it. Because a beard does not just change your face, it changes how you are perceived, and perception is the gateway to connection. You see, a well-kept beard can signal maturity. It suggests a journey has been walked. It carries an edge. It says silently, this man is no longer a boy. He is not trying to impress. He simply is. And that energy of is-ness, that is a form of stillness, of masculine presence that speaks louder than any word. Let us go deeper. On a soul level, facial hair can represent rootedness and depth. Not the loud kind of power, but the quiet kind. The kind that enters a room and has no need to announce itself. It speaks through stillness, through presence, through the care for detail. And when a woman senses that presence in a man, especially if he carries a beard with confidence and discipline, it touches something ancient within her. She feels safety, but also strength. She senses a man who can both protect and provoke. Someone not easily moved by the winds of opinion. Someone who walks his own path. But let us be clear. This is not about growing a beard to hide. A beard, when it is right, is not a mask. It is a mirror of your inner discipline. It says, I care for myself. I pay attention to the small things. I invest in my own presence. A wild, untended beard does not say power. It says carelessness. But a clean, intentional beard says, I know who I am, and I own this ground I stand on. Now, here is the subtle part. When a woman's hand touches your jaw, your beard, she is not just feeling a texture. She is feeling a deeper truth. It is contact, but is also contrast your ruggedness against her softness. It is a sensory language, and it speaks of the beautiful difference between mountain and valley. That is the part most men miss. A beard does not just change how you look. It creates polarity, and polarity is the river that flows between the masculine and feminine. The beard, when joined with the right energy, becomes a tool to amplify that polarity, to make her feel more of her own essence simply by being near you. But again, it is never about the beard itself. It is about the man behind it. If your energy is weak, if your center is not strong, if you chase and explain, no beard will change how she feels. But if you carry yourself like a man, silent when needed, focused in purpose, grounded in your own being, then the beard becomes more than a look. It becomes a symbol of the man you have become. And that is where the true power lies. An ancient master said, first know who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. You do not grow a beard to cover emptiness. You grow it as an extension of your own solid ground. It does not make you strong. It reflects the strength you already have. So whether you are clean, shaven, or bearded, do it with purpose. Do not follow the winds of fashion. Lead with your presence, and let all else follow. And if you understand now that your masculinity is not just felt, but also seen, then let this be your meditation. I wear my strength. Because the man who knows who he is does not just grow a beard. He wears it as a quiet signal that this is a man who has nothing to prove. He already is. Seventh, the sound of the open sky. Let me ask you this, my friend. When was the last time you and a woman shared true laughter? I do not mean a polite sound, not the approval that follows a forced joke. I mean the real, unguarded laughter. The kind that makes her lean back and forget the world for a moment. The kind that makes her touch your arm without thinking. The kind that melts the walls of her heart without a single word. Because here is what most men do not see: laughter is not just fun. It is a form of intimacy. It is a key that unlocks the mind's defenses. It flows past logic and lands directly in the heart. Do you want to know the deep alchemy of this? When a woman laughs with you, truly laughs, her body releases the same chemistry she feels during deep trust and connection. And suddenly, You are not just the man she is speaking to. You are the man she feels safe with, the man who feels like sunlight. Now, most men never find this path. Why? Because they are focused on being impressive, on saying the right thing, on being the strong, silent mountain. And the mountain has its place. But if that is all you are, she will feel respect, but not connection. She will see you as composed, but distant. Laughter is what makes you unforgettable. It is the secret spring in the mountain, the space between the silences, the moment of breath when she realizes, this man makes life feel lighter. But what matters is this. It is not about being a clown. It is not about trying to entertain her. It is about knowing when to relax into the moment, when to tease with a light heart, when to let her tease you back, when to not hold yourself so tightly. That is what creates a chemistry that does not need touch to feel electric. Let me paint a picture. You are with her. The energy is quiet. You notice a small thing, a moment no one else would see, and you make a dry, perfectly timed observation. Her lips curve. She tries to hold it in, but fails. And now you are both sharing the open sky of laughter. That moment right there is more powerful than any grand gesture, because it was not forced, it was real. Shared, unscripted, alive. And the beauty is, she will remember it later. Not the words, the feeling. She will not remember the joke. She will remember how light she felt in your presence. And in a world that often feels heavy to her, that lightness is a gift. Now, here is what many men believe in error. They think laughter is weakness, that if they are not serious, they lose their power. But that is backwards. The man who can be light without losing his depth, he is rare, he is a master, he is magnetic, because he does not need to be on to be powerful. He knows that laughter does not shrink his masculine core, it expands it. It shows he is not threatened by the moment, that he is in command of his own energy, that even in stillness, he can create joy. Let us bring this to our practice. An ancient master said the art of living is like wrestling, but he also taught that your suffering comes not from the thing itself, but from your judgment of it. In other words, your ability to shift your view, to turn tension into ease, that is power. And laughter is that shift. It is how you lead her energy back to joy, how you show her that strength can smile, that stillness can spark. So, if you have forgotten what it is to simply enjoy a moment with a woman, without a goal, without a performance, it is time to find that path again. Not to impress, but to reconnect with the sky inside yourself. Because the man who laughs with her, not at her, not for her, but with her, that man builds something deeper than attraction. He builds a home in her memory. And if that is the man you are becoming, let this be your guide. I lead with lightness, because the man who makes her smile is the man she wants to be near, not just when life is good, but when it is hard. Because laughter, my friend, is not just a sound. It is a signal, and when it is shared, it becomes a bond she cannot explain, but will never forget. Eighth, the path of the North Star. Let us walk beyond connection for a moment, beyond touch, beyond laughter, beyond chemistry. Let us speak of something a woman's soul craves, but rarely knows how to ask for: a man with a North Star. Not just a job, not just a goal, not just a plan. I am speaking of vision, direction. A man who is not just living, but building a temple. Because here is the truth most men miss. Nothing pulls a woman's heart deeper than a man walking his own path, unapologetically, towards something larger than himself. It is not about money. It is not about fame. It is not even about the dream itself. It is about what that dream says about you. It says you are alive. It says you are not stagnant water. It says you wake with a fire in your heart, and that energy is the most magnetic force on earth. Do you want to know what a woman's spirit finds truly powerful? It is the man who can look her in the eye and say, I cannot stay long. I have work to do. And he means it. Not because he is pushing her away, but because he refuses to lose himself in her. That is the secret. You do not win her heart by making her your world. You win her heart by making your path your world, and allowing her to see the fire in your eyes when you speak of it. And here is why this works. Because when a woman feels your direction, when she sees you are moving toward your own true north, that you are not waiting for life to happen, she respects you. She